Hi, it's BK here from BK Gold Detecting, and welcome to part 9 of finding your first gold nugget. Well, I'm back again, back at the same old spot where I've been finding gold for years. Everyone comes here, but each time I come down, I just set myself that challenge to find one more nugget. Look, I like to come to these sort of spots because in reality, most of you are going to go to spots that have been heavily detected, and you know that you never get it all. Now, this is a very special spot for me because 6 years ago, almost to the day, I pulled 2 large nuggets out just behind where that shovel is there. And I'm going to set myself the challenge of pulling out another nugget from this area. And let's just hope it's another beauty like I got before. Elizas just got herself a brand new GPX 6000. So we will spend some time also giving that a bit of a test. She's keen to see if it's an improvement on the 5000 that she had before. But today I'm going to make an extra special effort to go over this super carefully with the headphones and also dig down a little piece. I'm going to have to clear a bit here. I'm probably going to spend more time clearing than I am detecting, but you know, that's what it's all about. It's not wandering around. It's about having the confidence that this is the spot and doing it properly. None of this was here 6 years ago. Wow, that was hard work. But you know, I've taken a couple of inches off here, exactly where I found 2 nuggets 6 years ago. I'm just interested to see. I always suspected there might be a small little part of a reef coming through here because there's a lot of rough quartz. And the nuggets I found did have a lot of quartz on them. So you never know, I might pick up a couple of small pieces. It's only a small area, but I can spend half an hour going over this properly, and then I'll get Eliza to go over with the 6000. Well, we arrived here quite late in the day. I've cleared that area and had a very quick detect. No luck yet, but I'm going to go back in the morning and give it a better go. So Eliza, you looking forward to trying out your GPX 6000?
Yep. Haven't had the chance to use it yet.
I hope you've been reading the instructions. It's all new compared to the 5000, but you know, they reckon it's good on very sensitive. So it's going to be interesting to see how it goes here. In the past, we found a lot of small ones on the surface here. Well, it's early morning. We're about to head off again. Not a lot of luck yesterday, but I'm going to continue over there. I'm going to dig a bit more and maybe get Eliza to try the GPX 6000 in the area that I've scraped. But first, Eliza is going to go just across the back here, about 100 meters. There's an area where there's a lot of broken quartz on the ground. So while I'm digging, she'll go over there and just give it a bit of a go with the 6000 to see how she goes. So this is the area where Eliza's going to start detecting. I noticed this area yesterday. There's a lot of loose quartz on the surface, and I've never really tried over here. So while I'm digging away, scraping over at the other spot, Eliza will have a bit of a go here. Eliza, give us a call on the radio if you get anything.
Yep,
okay,
sure.
So we can share. Okay, good luck. I'm going to be going over this area very, very carefully, making sure I really overlap my swings. And I'm listening for the slightest signal. I've got the GPZ ground balanced nicely, so I'm not getting any ground noise. Well, I was almost ready to give up. I've been right over this area here, but by this tree here, I'm just getting a really slight signal. It could just be a piece of ironstone. Not sure if you can hear this. Very, very subtle sound in here. Just the slightest little bit of a sound. So I'll just scrape that a bit, see if I can get it to improve. Very hard ground here. Let's try that again. Yep, it's definitely out of the hole. Ah, could this be a good start to the day? Lucky first scoop. I like the sound of it. Oh. Oh. Beautiful. Not the big one I was hoping for. But it's a start. A lot of hard work though. For such a small piece of gold. I must have spent nearly an hour digging this ground for this little piece. But look, I'm sure that's the only piece in this spot that I've dug out. But it's a bit encouraging, so what I might do, I might dig a bit more in amongst those trees there, and then maybe we'll give Eliza a go with the 6000. I can hear her in the distance digging something. Let's hope it's gold. Okay, I've scraped out a small area on the other side of the tree. I found the small nugget just over there. The ground is really, really hard here, so I haven't scraped a very big area. But that small area there took me half an hour to dig. So, you know, I'm just confident that this area holds gold. And one of the reasons is straight behind me. If you can see behind me, there's an old prospecting hole. Now, the old timers didn't dig those without a reason. They've suspected there's been gold here. They've probably been loaming, found a few samples, and then they've dug prospecting holes. There's one there, and there's another one just over there. So I'm right between two prospecting holes. I've done exactly what the old timers would have done. They've removed the topsoil. So let's see if there's any results. But this time, I'm going to let Eliza do the work with the GPX 6000 because we're both keen to see how that goes. Okay, let's let Eliza know she's got some work to do. So she's a fair way over that way, so I'll just give her a quick call. Eliza, do you copy? She's actually very close. I don't need the radio. Eliza, do you want to come over here? And I've scraped this area. If you want to go over with the GPX.
I'm here.
Don't need the radio. I can see you. Just come over here because I've scraped a small area. I'd just like you to try with the GPX.
Sound a good idea?
Okay, see you, honey. Hello, have you been finding anything?
Lots of junk.
Lots of junk. Oh well, at least you're finding something. Look, it's not a very big area, but if you want to go over here, but over very carefully, just behind me here. I did find a nugget on this side of the tree, and it's in a good spot, so give it a go with the 6000. So Eliza, you really need to overlap your swings here because it took me half an hour to dig this. Go right, really slowly, no, much slower than that. You've got to go like inch by inch and overlap right around the edges. Good luck.
Thank you.
You don't want to do my method, do you? You want to do the let's go over it really quickly method. Or it might take me half an hour to dig through all this. And nah, not possible.
What?
I did pull out a couple of bits of tin here. How are you finding the 6000, Eliza?
Yeah, not not too bad.
Must admit, that does sound all right. Oh, geez. Sounds all right. Wow, you know, that's only about less than 2 meters from where I got that other little bit. Very hard clay here. Good luck, honey.
Let's see what we get.
I found a button yesterday, did I tell you? Well, it's starting to look a bit too deep for a lead shot. Is there a tree root there? It could be under the tree root. Yeah, a few tree roots there. See how you go now, see if it's out. Whoa. I'm starting to think you might be onto something here.
Well, that's like,
You know, this is only, what, 2 meters from where I got that one this morning, and about 3 meters from where I got a 14-gram nugget. Very solid clay. Yeah, it's more towards me, I think. Well, I would put my money on this being gold now. A bit too deep for a lead shot in this hard ground. If it's still in the hole now, I'm going to get excited. And I don't get excited that easily these days. Whoa! Okay, try the pinpointer, but you have to really scrape in the ground because it's got to be right on top. Press it right into the ground. Ooh, yep.
Yep, there.
Ooh, exciting.
It's just there.
Be careful, just in case it's something bigger, don't dig right on top of it, dig around it because you put the pick into it. Yeah, it's got to be there somewhere. Yep, she's in the scoop. Good luck, honey.
Oh, look at that.
Well, she's smiling. Is it gold?
It is there.
Oh, very good, honey. So happy for you. Let's have a look, honey.
Look at that. Have some ironstone in it.
Oh, wow. That's actually impressive. That's good. Well done, honey. Ah, she's got it in her mouth. All sorts of poisons on that. Let's have a look. Oh, yes. Beautiful little piece of gold there. Look at that. Oh, look at that. It's got ironstone on one side. That's very similar to the bits I found here before. There's a lot of ironstone just up the hill. Beautiful. Well, that was actually quite deep, right in amongst the trees. Often that's the case. These spots that are heavily detected, the gold that's left is often, you know, under a tree root or deep down. So there's one just there and one just here. We're going well. Eliza, maybe we just go back for a coffee first and then we come back.
Going to have a quick swing.
Oh, I knew you'd say that. There's no way she's going to walk away from this spot now. Coffee is off. Look, Eliza, I know your method worked. Ah,
What is that?
don't tell me.
What is that?
I think it's the pick. We haven't even got back to the car and she's got another target, but there's a tin can there. And I'm sure I've detected this bear right here before. What is it, honey?
Oh, it's a metal.
Ah, well, time for coffee. Well, there you go. Time and time again, we've come back to this spot, and it's usually when we're working a small area in an area where we know there should be gold, where we find something. Look, that scraping was right between two old prospecting holes, which were just down from an old working. So, you know, you've got to listen to the old timers. I've said it before, but they do the work for you. They will show you where the gold was. You now just go along with your detector and pick up the pieces that it wasn't worth them digging up. You know, they've got a pick and a shovel. They know there's a few grains there. They're looking for the source up the hill. So around those old prospecting holes is always a hot spot to detect. Okay, it's the start of another day. It's early morning, and I've decided today I'm going to be detecting this area. Now, as you can see, there's a lot of ironstone, a lot of rock around. Very, very hard to get your coil on the ground in this sort of ground. But the reason I'm going to be detecting here is because this is only maybe 10 meters from where Eliza got that nice nugget yesterday. This is straight uphill. There's a whole heap of broken ironstone here, and I'm going to show you a technique that I use when I detect this sort of ground, because it's just very, very hard to get your coil on the ground, and often the nuggets might be quite deep under the softer ground under these rocks. So anyway, I have actually got one target here. I started about half an hour ago, and I've got a good example here of what I'm going to try and explain to you. Now, normal settings are normally used in like coin hunting, where ground noise is not so much an issue, you just want depth. The problem with it is that you will get a lot of false signals, but it's good when you've got the coil off the ground. Often it will give you the first indication of a signal. You can then clear the ground and go over it in the difficult mode, which is what you'd normally use in the goldfields, to just confirm it's a target. I'd be going over the top of the rocks here, scanning over, listening for the slightest little bit of a signal. If I do get a signal, I'll clear the ground, which is what I've done here, and then have a bit of a listen. Now, I've got a very, very faint signal here, even in normal mode, which, as I said before, is the one that goes very deep. See if you can hear this. Now, if I put it into the difficult mode, which is what you would normally use in the goldfields, try again. There's nothing there that would encourage me to dig a hole. I'm going to dig down a little bit further to see if I can now pick up something in difficult mode. I've had times using this method. One was maybe 10 meters over here, where I got a very slight signal in the deep mode, very, very slight, up against the tree, dug down about 6 inches before I could pick it up on the normal gold setting, which is difficult. It was an 8-gram nugget. So this is definitely something worth trying. So I've dug down a bit deeper here. We'll try again, first with normal mode, which, as I said before, is the deep mode. Back to difficult mode. Oh, you know, it wouldn't pull me up. Take a little bit more off and see if we can hear it now. Definitely louder. Well, it definitely sounds like something's come out. I see it. Believe it or not, it is a tiny piece of gold. Well, that was a lot of work for that, but really, look, that's tiny. But it just goes to show, you know, you've got to experiment with the settings a bit. Well, there you go. Tiny piece of gold, but it proves a point. This ground here, if you went over, you know, detecting as you normally would with a setting that's good at discriminating against ground noise, I never would have got this nugget. Sometimes you've got to just think outside the square. Using a mode that's really designed to go, you know, deep down in the soil but doesn't discriminate very well can be a good tool when you're working on rocky ground like this, because your coil is high up off the ground. The trick is you've got to go very, very slow. If you go too fast, you'll just get horrible whirring noise as the detector picks up every single little piece of mineralization. This is what I like to see. This heavy ironstone here, Really, really heavy ironstone. You can see here, it's got quartz in it as well. Quartz and ironstone is always a good mix. You can see why there's so many workings around here. They all seem to be along the line of this ironstone. Well, I've just come over to see how Eliza's going. And she is getting a little bit of a signal down here. At first she thought it was ground noise, but she's dug down. Now it's a definite signal. I think it's going to be quite close to the surface, listening to the sound of it.
You like it?
Yeah. Yep. Definitely something there. Yep, it's definitely something. Oh, geez, I tell you what, the points go to you today.
It is something.
Is it?
Tiny, tiny. Making so much noise.
Oh, geez, just put it in the sun a bit so we can see. Look at that tiny little piece. No, I'm quite impressed with this GPX 6000. I reckon it doesn't go as deep as the 7000, but I can tell you, it seems to be louder on the close to the surface targets than the GPZ. Almost time to go home, and just for a bit of fun, I'm going to spend half an hour on the mullet heaps. Look, you don't normally get very much out of the mullet heaps, usually only very small pieces, but you know, I just really enjoy. I find it just so relaxing and challenging. I've been over these mullet heaps before, so have others, but I'm going to use the same method I did before and go into the very sensitive mode on the detector to see if I can just ping just one or two small nuggets before I go home. Remember, very slow, overlap your swings. This is a good example of how in deep mode sometimes you'll pick up a target. But when I go back to difficult mode, which is the one that handles the gold fields best, I would not stop. There's nothing there that would make me stop if I was detecting. But I'm going to give it a scrape because it could be deeper down. I don't know if you can hear that. I can now hear it in the difficult mode. That is a good sign. Once you can hear it in difficult mode, there's less chance that it's going to be a piece of ironstone. The normal mode, which goes very deep, will pick up the ironstone. But in the difficult mode, and unless it's a very, very hot rock, it generally doesn't pick it up. So this is looking good. No, it's out. Beautiful little mullet heap piece of gold there. Well, there you go. See if you can see that somewhere in my hand there. Little piece of mullet heap gold. Ah, I've dropped it. Found it. This time, I'll try not to drop it. There you go. Second time lucky. Beautiful little nugget. Well, after dropping that last nugget, I think it's time to call it a day. We're both very tired. The sun's going down. Look, we've had a couple of good days here. Picked up half a dozen small nuggets. I'll put them on the scales later and show you, but you know, there's not going to be a lot there, maybe a few grams. I think the one that Eliza got next to the tree might be close to 1. look, for a spot like this that's been heavily detected, I'm happy with that. If you've enjoyed this video, there's actually 9 videos in this series, finding your first gold nugget. They're all in a playlist that you can go through. If I was to make a suggestion, I would probably say start off with number 2 and number 3. The first one's okay, it's had a lot of scores, but that was our first go. I think personally my favourite is part 3. But anyway, we'll see you next time.